Where's Lauren?
I had notes galore on my deal yesterday. Walked off and left it laying on the bank desk. I thought I shoved it in my computer.
I've done that before.
I opened it up this morning. I'm like,
We talked about it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, it's like linked out sometimes.
No, he'll move here when you're.
I have any notes.
What?
I didn't have any notes. I got my answer here today.
I don't have many. One or two maybe. I think you've already got the answers on that.
Austin, you ready?
Yes.
Good morning. It's good to see all of you in person. Sanders County Commissioner Court come to order. Excuse me, it's May the 11th, 2021, 9:30 a.m. County Courtroom, in White, Texas. Now 9:34 a.m. This is Commissioner Hammond's first court in person. Welcome.
Y'all go easy on me.
All right, if you'll all rise. Corey, you lead us, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you now and just thank you for this day. And this just feels like an amazing day being back live after the last year and a half that we've been through. Just thank you for your provision, for your protection over us. Just thank you for everything you do for us, Lord. We just pray as we come before you today that we honor you with our words and with our deeds, and ask that you just bless us as we attempt to do the best for the citizens of Chambers County. We pray these things in Jesus Christ's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
You want to say the pledges? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
There was no delay there, Joe.
Nah, that, I was gonna say, those pledges went a whole lot better than the delays on. All right. You'll see I know it's been a long time since we had in-person court, so we put out there the rules of procedures and decorum in court meetings. So the Sanders County Commissioners Court, I'm not gonna read them, but they're out there by the podium if anybody would like to take a look at them. All right, citizens' comments. Ms. Hawthorne, you have 3 minutes, man, to make your citizens'
It
comment.
will not take that long. Good morning. I
Good morning.
have just a quick update on the youth project show. I have been working with the ladies in the office for the last, I guess it's now day 8, day 9. Happy to report, especially to the treasurer and the auditor, that all the monies that we collected over the weekend of these projects that were turned in and deposited on Monday. We are currently working on getting policies and procedures written to turn in for y'all to evaluate and help them do better. I know we can do better. This is my 34th year with the YPS. I started when I was 2. And so anyway, just looking forward to a full report on the next commissioner's court, and we will be asking for a after action meeting with the judge, and this is just the county employees. This is not for the full volunteer committee. So that was it. Just wanted to let you know we are rocking and rolling over there.
Thank you, ma'am. And I don't know, sorry, I wasn't paying that close attention, but it seemed like a really good sale.
It was an excellent sale.
And I don't think we have
I don't
numbers.
have the final number.
I didn't
I
think so.
reported.
Okay, thank you, man. Larry Barron on 7.2, Larry. Does he need a mic?
Yes, sir, probably will to get the data done soon.
I got a big voice, it don't matter. Okay, some of you are already aware that there's been a lot of growth going on with positive things happening in the county for kids. And one of the things that we've got going on right now is over in the Winnie area, we're bringing in the ball fields off of Cooks Road. And I'm very excited about it because I see it being the same type of thing that my trade days does for the community. It'll bring people in that will spend heads on beds, spend money in the restaurants and everything, and stores all over. There'll be RVs that are coming into the area and people staying in hotels. All I can see is a positive net growth for the community, and God bless our kids. That's what it's all about. And thank you very much. If I can get your support, I'd appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. Christie Ridgeway, 6.1, Gregory Memorial Park. Good morning, Christie.
To go along with kids in the Winnie Stoll area. Westpac is requesting to paint a mural in the county park. We've been working with, I should specify, Gregory Memorial Park. We've been working with Commissioner Gore on other projects within the park, and a mural was one of the things that we suggested. They said we needed Commissioner's Court approval to paint on a county building. So we're here to seek that. Provided in your packet, you should have a flyer on Winnie Stoll Positive Action Committee and who we are and what we're doing, as well as a basic proposal as to why we want the public art. I did include the artists that we had talked to that were local, Jamie Nations and Nia Green. I do have some of their work and sketches for ideas. If you're interested in seeing those, if that will help you make a positive decision for the kids in our community. We do think it'll help draw more people into the park to take pictures. When you have interactive murals, all of that goes on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. And we really want the kids to have that and draw people in on their way to the beach.
You want to bring those up?
Yeah.
Is it,
If that's okay.
what you got, Chris? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Christie. Apollo West, 6.1. Okay. Ms. West? Looks like you're muted. If you're muted.
Okay, I just unmuted it.
Now, all right, you have 3 minutes, ma'am, to make your comment.
Good morning to all. I thank you for allowing us to make comment. I'm with the Winnie Stoll Positive Action Committee, and our representative, Christie Ridgeway, is there to address the Commissioner's Court in present. And we are just so excited about the opportunity that hopefully you will give us in having an art mural painted on the outside bathroom walls in Gregory Memorial Park in Stoll, Texas. Also the trash cans, so we can highlight the availability of keeping our parks clean. It's an idea that we think will highlight our community and bring some freshness. We know that we've all suffered so many losses with, between the storms and COVID and all things. So it's just a way of encouraging and kind of waking up our community. So we hope that you will consider that. We are a positive action committee. We are taking, that's one of the positive steps that we're taking to engage all of our efforts and engage our community in doing positive things throughout the Winnie Store community. So we hope that y'all will consider approving that art mural. Christy is there with samples that two of our artists that we've contacted have given us. And again, we're so excited for this opportunity and hope you will grant the approval for this art mural.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Darlene McPherson, 7.2. Darlene. Good morning.
Good morning. Look at this, Judge.
Hey, I forgot it was there. It's been so long.
Let's see if I can. There. Judge and commissioners and court, thank you for allowing me some time. I need this.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. 7.2 is concerns the approval of PBK architects and engineers for ball fields in Winnie. First of all, thank you so much for addressing the ball field issues in Anahuac and Winnie. However, my concern is why PBK? Why are we going back to PBK architects? How many architects did you review before you chose PBK? And the reason I'm asking this is because this is what we were given. I think this is it at our town hall meeting from PBK. This is their rendering. Okay. These pages right here are renderings and specifications done by volunteers from AYSO. The AYSO volunteers sat down, and some of them are designers and engineers, and these are their renderings. Now, you may say, okay, it's a rendering, it's a concept. It doesn't mean anything. But in my experience of 40 years as an engineer, renderings and concepts have a way of becoming the end product, and you will have to live with it. For example, on their rendering, they have, what do you call those? Not bullpens, yeah, bullpens at every ball field. We don't use bullpens. We don't have those. We don't warm up pitchers in bullpens. What we have is what our AYSO volunteers put on their renderings. We need, they show on here batting pitching cages. The other thing is they've got parking areas in our historic areas. We can't do that. Our AYSO volunteers put together a plan that has parking areas within the areas where we can park, not in historic areas. We've got all our specifications. We've got, this is Dixie Youth specifications. Tells you exactly how big that field is supposed to be. These fields, if you look at the rendering from between the,
If you want to.
just 3 more minutes, please. Or 2 more minutes, 2 more minutes.
I'll give you 1 minute to wrap it up.
1 minute. Between bases is 60 feet. So if you look right here, if you use 60 feet as a guide, we've got 50 feet between the ball fields. Okay, this mama is over here watching her 8-year-old play ball, and she has to take her toddler to the restroom. Look how far she has to go. It's just not workable. I don't know how we got PBK in here. I know you guys have dinner with Biggio a lot because Mr. Tice told us that at our town hall meeting, that he has dinner with Biggio. on occasion. And I know Biggio is a nice man. I've done projects with PBK since 2003. And they are good architects and engineers, but this right here scares me. It scares me a lot. And I wish you would just please reconsider and look at what our AYSO volunteers can do, and do not cut them out. Leave them on the team and let them do their thing. Let them design these ball fields. For Winnie, they'll do a good job. And for Anahuac. Okay, I'm gone.
Thank you, Ann. All right, we have one that was sent in. Lauren, you got it?
Wait, yank it out of there.
Oh, this is your first in-person court too, Ashley.
Yes, sir, it is. Okay, this public comment is from Mark Van Cleve. It's regarding agenda items 7.1, 7.2, and 7.3. He is against these items. The current CO proposal was originally intended to be an infrastructure package for the southwest portion of Chambers County. The commissioners should keep it that way. It is almost unconscionable that you would consider cutting the number of fields from the west side complex in order to fund fields in Winnie, given the population and need outlined below. West Chambers County contains approximately 71% of the county population based on the number of registered voters. The southwest quadrant south of I-10, west of the Trinity River, contains approximately 1/3 of the county population. This section of the county has the worst roads and least amenities of any other part of the county. There has been very little county-funded infrastructure in this part of the county in the past 30 years. We have no covered arena, very few parks, no viable large community building, no public boat ramp on Trinity Bay, no county library, no baseball, softball fields, and no county offices other than that of the JP Court. It is absolutely unfair to take money from the original CO and apply it to build infrastructure on the east side of the county. Unfortunately, there is a far larger need for a community building, parks, baseball fields, and roads on the south side of I-10 in the southwest quadrant than in any other area of the county. It is important to remember that we are actually losing a park, fields, and a community building. The population is growing fast in this area. Goose Creek ISD has 1,700 students in Chambers County, and Barbers Hill ISD has approximately 6,000 students in Chambers County. East Chambers has 1,400 students and Anahuac has 1,500. The $49 million CO should be directed only to fund the projects as originally proposed in the southwest quadrant of Chambers County. EW4 is needed to relieve dump truck traffic from FM 2354. Those funds should not be diverted to Anahuac baseball fields. Likewise, the $9.5 million from the sale of McLeod Park should only be used to fund park improvements in the southwest quadrant of the county, preferably in a location more central to the population in that section of the county. Many of us on the west side support improvements in both Anahuac and Winnie. We understand that their facilities need to be upgraded. However, such improvements should not be built at the expense of improvements, including much needed roads in the southwest part of the county. I would propose that the commissioners issue another separate CO to fund the Anahuac Fields, Winnie Fields, Anahuac Library, and a public boat ramp on Trinity Bay in Beach City.
Did it? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I think that's all the citizens' comments. 1.1, discuss and consider department update. Public health, Mary Beth's not on, so I'll give you. Okay, I don't know if there's any update really anyway, other than we're winding down our vaccination pods. It appears that everyone that wants to get vaccinated has been vaccinated. Right now, we're just doing our second. We're not doing first vaccinations. We're only doing second this time. 1.2, discuss and consider legislative update. Got an email from Don Pilcher this morning with LJA. Not much has happened on the Gulf Coast Protection District legislation since we last spoke. I'm not available for Commissioner's Court this morning. On the morning of May 4th, Jefferson County, Orange County, and the Orange County Drainage District each passed a resolution in support of the formation of the GCPD. And these resolutions were communicated to Speaker Phelan's office that day. Later the same day, May 4th, HB 3029, the companion of SB 1160, passed unanimously out of the House Natural Resource Committee as of 8 a.m. this morning. HB 3029 has not yet been sent to the Calendars Committee. Representative Paul's office is reportedly waiting on the committee report to be finalized before submitting the bill to Calendars Committee to schedule a floor vote. Representative Paul's office also working to get the bill analysis correct to avoid any points of order when it reaches the House floor. Because there were a few changes in the bill in the House Natural Resource Committee that will need to go back to the Senate once passed in the House. As we previously discussed, the differences between the Senate Bill SB 1160, House Bill HB 3029 involve clarifying language, 1, to ensure coordination with Harris County Flood Control, 2, to authorize tax abatement authority, and 3, clarify financial responsibility for utility adjustments made necessary by a project on the authority of the GCPD. And that's the update on that. 1.3, discuss and consider resolution recognizing May 19th through 9 through 15, 2021 as Hospital Week, inspiring hope through healing in Chambers County. Commissioner Tice, read that, please.
Sure, Your Honor. Chambers County resolution, whereas National Hospital Week is May 9th through 15th, 2021, and the official theme is inspiring hope through healing. Whereas individuals all across the country will be celebrating this time-honored event, and whereas Bayside Community Hospital has been in existence since 1950 to serve this community, and whereas rural community hospitals offer access to medical care in their communities in addition to life-saving emergency care, which can make the difference between life and death. And whereas the hardworking people that make up Bayside Community Hospital deserve universal regard and appreciation for keeping our community healthy. And whereas our local hospital is central to a healthy and optimistic community. Now, therefore, let it be known on this, the 11th day of May, 2021, we, the Commissioners Court of Chambers County, do hereby declare May 9 through 15, 2021 to be Hospital Week in Chambers County, and encourages residents to express their appreciation for the people, facilities, and technologies that make trustworthy, reliable healthcare possible in our community.
Motion by Commissioner Tice. Second by Commissioner Combs. Those in favor? Mark, if you want to come up, we'll present resolution. Good morning.
Okay, Commissioner, we're going to move a little bit that way. Okay, here we go. We're going to take a couple. Okay, thank you.
I am smiling, Sue.
Good. Everyone looks so happy. Mr. Hammond, I'm going to train you. Hang on, Billy, I'm sorry. The microphone is hanging off your face.
It looks better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And she will train you too, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, on financial 2.1, discuss and consider proclamation declaring May as International Internal Audit Awareness Month. Mr. Sam.
Thank you, Your Honor. Whereas internal auditing is a vital part of strengthening organizations and protecting stakeholders of both the public and private sectors, and whereas internal auditing helps identify and manage the organization's risks and ensure policies, procedures, and controls are in place and working appropriately, And whereas internal auditing is an increasingly sophisticated and complex activity requiring specialized knowledge, training, and education. And whereas internal auditing is an established profession with a globally recognized code of ethics and international standards for the professional practice of internal auditing. And whereas the Institute of Internal Auditors is the internal audit profession's most widely recognized advocate, educator, and provider of standards, guidance, and certifications. And whereas historically, the global internal audit profession promotes awareness about its value during the month of May each year. And whereas the contribution of internal auditors to the success of organizations and the global economy at large deserves our recognition and commendation. Now, therefore, be it known that the Commissioners Court of Chambers County, Texas, do hereby proclaim the month of May as International Internal Audit Awareness Month. Further, we hereby extend greetings and best wishes to all observing International Internal Audit Awareness Month, and we invite the citizens of Chambers County to join us in recognizing professional internal auditors for their contribution. And I'll end with saying we're pleased to announce that Leslie Bourne is just our latest certified internal auditor. She just passed her exam this week through the International Internal Auditors Institute. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Draft.
Motion by Commissioner Gore,
Second.
second by Commissioner Tice. Questions, comments, those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Road and Bridge 3.1, discuss, consider accepting the concept drawings from CCID number 1, Chambers County Improvement District number 1 for a Cedar Port Greenbelt along FM 2354. Commissioner Combs, Corey, who's?
I'll be happy to run with it.
Go.
All right, everybody's got on their desk, and I don't know if we had any extra copies to show the people watching or can get it on the screen. But as a part of the agreement to allow TGS or CCID number 1 to extend Fisher Road some ways up to the west from the intersection of Cedar Port Parkway, they agreed to a couple of things. One of them is they're going to run a fire water main to the Beach City Volunteer Fire Department. And another thing is they hired their architects to work with their engineers. And I came up with a concept drawing, which shows a green belt around the perimeter of their Cedar Port Industrial Park, where it's adjacent to FM 2354. So that's what this is. This is the concept drawing, and it would run all the way from the north end of their property on 2354 to the far south end of their property. Is just on the 2354 side where it separates the residential from the industrial development within the park. And John Klein is here to answer any questions. But if you look at the drawing, you know, this is a concept. It is not intended to be an actual drawing. The actual make of it will vary depending on, you'll see the water features. All of these water features in there are actually wet detention ponds. So depending on how the drainage actually lays out and where the ponds are needed is where you'll have the wet properties. But what will be constant through it pretty much is the berm and the landscape along the berm and the walking trails. If you'll look real good, there's also a couple of parks that will be incorporated in. I guess most notably is the park that's at the corner of Fisher Road and 2354, right across the street from Old River Baptist Church. That one's going to be.
Fisher Road Baptist.
Huh?
Fisher Road Baptist.
Fisher, oh, I'm sorry, Fisher Road Baptist.
Unless they moved over.
No, I'm sorry. It is Fisher Road Baptist. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
All right. But anyhow, John's here. If anybody's got any questions, or John, if there's anything you want to add to it.
So this concept drawing is in the packet. It's just you got a color copy on the bench.
Right.
No, that's a new drawing.
Oh, this one is?
Yeah, he sent a new one out yesterday. About the only difference is it shows a detail cut that's in the bottom right of the new drawing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it only had one section before, but now you got a section A1 and a section A2.
So they'll do detention to build the berm and,
Yes, sir. I mean, it's like Commissioner Combs said, it's a rendering for now, but there'll be both wet bottom and dry detention depending on where along 2354. And these would go in as we develop along 2354. So the Commissioner, the fire water line going to the Beach City Fire Department, the engineering's done and being submitted to the city of Baytown for approval.
Great.
So we're making headway there.
Very good. Much needed.
yeah, it looks good.
It does look good. And actually, if you look at some of the photographs, that's some stuff that Jacobs has actually done in the Houston, Harris County Drainage District. So it's going to be using some of that same type of architectural layout.
Looks good.
Good, Billy.
We're happy to see it.
Thank you guys for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you, John. Anything, Corey?
It's been a long time coming. I know Billy and I and TGS been working together on landing this thing, so glad to see that it's moving forward.
Billy, do you want to formally accept it?
I do.
All
I'll
right.
make the motion.
By Commissioner Combs,
Second.
second by Commissioner Tice. Those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Looks good. You want to get BJ on the phone?
Oh, I thought you were trying to say.
BJ? BJ, can you hear me?
Hey, BJ, can you hear us? Yeah.
Okay, we're going to 5.1, discuss and consider TOSEF Inc. reinvestment zone application. BJ.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. This is an application that's been presented by TOSEF Incorporated as part of for our establishment of reinvestment zone for the tax abatement application that was approved by court on the April 27th court. They're requesting the public hearing to be held on May 25th, 21, to discuss and consider establishing reinvestment zone as required by statute.
And that's all this is, right? Just to set a public hearing for the reinvestment zone?
That's correct, Commissioner. Just as by way of reminder, TOSEF Incorporated is a plastics-related manufacturing facility. It's a multi-phase project that they're going to be building in Cedarport Industrial Park to build out. The project is going to create between 20 and 60 full-time jobs by year 2026 with capital investment of approximately $38 million.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we set a public hearing date for the reinvestment zone for May 25th
At 10 a.m.
at 10 a.m.
All right, so you want to approve the application?
The
and
application
set-
was approved at the last court.
Oh,
What we're
was it?
doing today is setting the public hearing date.
Okay, May 25th, 2021, 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Parks and Recreation, 6.1. Discuss and consider the Winnie Stoll Positive Action Committee request to paint an art mural, Gregory Memorial Park located in Stoll, Texas. Commissioner Gore.
Yes, sir. I've been working with the Winnie Stoll Positive Action Committee to bring this to y'all as a rendering where they can better enhance the community down there in Stoll. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I spoke with Ashley, if Ashley has any comments on it. No. I make a motion to approve it, Judge.
Have a second. All right, I'm gonna second it. Get it on the floor. So do we know what they're actually going to, what the mural will actually do?
I think Christie can.
Come on up, Christie, please.
elaborate to that.
So the citizens got together, about 6 of us. We haven't had a great, huge committee meeting with the entire community due to COVID. But the basic suggestions were the name of the park with maybe Stoll, Texas, or the zip code, along with an inspirational quote. I guess because there's 4 walls on that bathroom building, some other suggestions were families in the park, barbecuing, playing, interacting, children playing sports, and maybe children reading. So what we had Jamie and Naya draw up were just their artistic interpretation of those basic things, just so that you could have something to look at. What you have before you in the front, the first packet is from Naya Green. Those first 2, from Jamie Nations. The first 2 are examples of her current work that she completed, murals that she's been paid to do. She's well known throughout the community and is well experienced. The next few pages are just sketches that she kind of drew up based on what we suggested, along with some other ideas where you'll note on that first page it says interactive, and she has spread love with a megaphone. Those are for the kids to actually participate and take pictures and post it to their social media, etc. On that third page, she has what a sunset with swings. We could add things to that, take away from it. All of this was just a basic idea. The next packet is from Naya Green, some of her completed work that she's done. Actually, I think these are on the fence at her home. Naya is a senior at East Chambers ISD, up and coming artist. And
Pretty good.
She is pretty good. The next sketches behind that are from her, just some basic ideas. We didn't ask them to spend a lot of time on the sketches, just because we weren't sure if Commissioner's Court would approve it. So we could certainly have them draw up something more specific and present before we started painting, if we knew that we had the approval to move forward.
I would suggest that if it's approved, that we get the design rendered.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be an issue with either of the artists. And we'd like for them to maybe collaborate so that Jamie could mentor Naya in a way, with Naya graduating high school and looking to get into that sort of business. It's a great opportunity really for both of them.
You know, my concern of it is not dark. I mean, it looks good, but my concern is we're opening the door and we're starting putting murals on. And especially if you don't have very controlled rules on that, you know, it could be a slippery slope. You know, you could start a trend of something that might not be as attractive as we wanted it to be in some places. And not one thing I like about seeing that, I mean, there's nothing political or anything about any of these renderings.
Correct.
And they're all nice, but, you know, and I do know that, you know, our parks manager is not really in support of it. He is concerned. For some reason I am. It's just doing it without really having a countywide plan or knowing what's going to happen in the county. So if I agreed to it, it would have to be with that we're going to actually set a policy that we're going to follow in the county and set some guidelines to go to.
That I do not have a problem with. That's the reason I reached out to Ashley. Ashley can get those guidelines together for us, and we can get those in place before we move forward with it, and also have a complete render. That gives them time to have a complete rendering of what we actually going to put on the building. I mean, if we want to.
So would you rather table this?
It may be better if we table it for right now, and y'all can get a rendering. We can get with Ashley to get the proper verbiage. So it's county.
Well, we need a policy. We need
right.
some type of policy saying here's what we're going to allow.
And I totally agree with that.
So you want to pull your motion, and I'll pull my second, and we will table. Do you understand that, Christy?
Yes, sir.
We'll table it. We'll get a policy together, and the PAC will have to agree to that policy.
That's fine.
That would give y'all time if you want to go ahead and get a rendering together.
Okay. Should I follow up with you or with Ashley regarding the policies and how that's going to work? I've already done some research on that myself with City of Dallas, City of Beaumont. I haven't looked at county policies, but I have looked at some of the city policies. So I know that they're out there.
Okay, that may be good.
So the city of Beaumont does those boxes, I see them around.
They also have murals painted throughout
buildings?
as well. Yes, sir. Mickey Mitchell was an art teacher at East Chambers. She's painted several. City of Beaumont has commissioned her to do that, along with a couple of other local
Yeah, if she's got
artists.
those policies, she'll get them on to Ashley, so she want to start.
Sure, not a problem.
Greatly appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll table
When you're
six.
looking at, you might also think about a theme type for the county. You know, Baytown also, they've got their little shrink things that they put around the
Seen those.
communication boxes, and it really, you know, but they have a theme to go with it. So I just don't want to see where we got, somebody wants to put this on and we say no, we let somebody else do something. We, you know, it needs to be consistent.
No, I
Yeah,
totally
I
agree.
would Billy on that.
Yeah, don't put face of the commissioner's court, because they'll be throwing tomatoes and stuff in it, right? All right, yeah, if you'll come up with something, and Billy, would you mind getting the city of Baytown, getting that, Ashley,
Sure.
their policy? We'll help you out as much as we can, Ashley. All right, 6.2, discuss, consider approving the Diesels and Dames Truck Show at Fort Anahuac Park, June 5th, excuse me, 2021, pending a park use agreement. That's actually exactly what it says. They've made an application for an outdoor event, but they haven't done a park use agreement, so.
In that parking use agreement, it said it was gonna benefit the sheriff's office, but it didn't specify what benefit.
Here.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. If we're missing anything, we're happy to do it.
All right, state your name for the record, sir.
My name is Scott Watkins, and my wife Angela Watkins are the
morning.
owners of Diesel's Day Magazine. And we're here we live in Anahuac for the last 10 years, and we want to start doing some truck shows and things, bring some business here. And then we want this one specifically to benefit the Chambers County Sheriff's Department, barbecue sales, bake sales, some other things. We plan to have some vendors, some music, big diesel trucks and pretty things for everybody to come out and look at the park and just do that. We want to do these on a regular basis, one for the fire department, maybe some schools, and do some benefits and kind of give back to the community.
All right, any
We have to get our
questions?
paperwork, whoever I need to speak to afterwards about finishing this thing up.
You need to go to the Parks Department and see Brandy.
We've already seen Brandon, had a lot of email communication.
All right, so do you have a park use agreement that you filled in?
We couldn't.
Okay,
We'll run by there and get that taken care of then.
Okay.
Are you a 501c or for profit?
No, sir, we're just an LLC right now. We're just gonna take those proceeds and we're gonna, we just have a magazine that we put out and we want to kind of use that name to kind of bring people in.
What do you anticipate the actual benefit to the police, to the sheriff's department would be?
Well, if we get the number of people that we're thinking, probably maybe 1,500 people or something like that coming, we would imagine the barbecue, we're gonna have the barbecue sales, and we're also gonna donate $1,500 of our own money to that as well. So that whatever, plus barbecue sales, big sales, and some other things from the competitions.
They don't want to shut the park down for this here, or how's it gonna work? I mean, they close roads or anything like that?
Just anything they like.
Sir?
Whatever, we don't, we're just gonna do that for this and the fire department later and other things.
What day is this thing?
June 5th.
Have you spoke to the sheriff's office and
We've
talked to
been
the sheriff or?
trying to get in touch with the sheriff's department, but haven't been able to get a reply back from the sheriff himself, so.
Guy standing right behind you, good start.
Yeah, that's a good start too.
You found it.
He likes barbecue too.
He likes barbecue.
I mean, there was just no layout of how it's gonna be split up, or how, what, like Commissioner Combs was asking where it goes. I mean, it was
Okay.
It was very vague, so.
Well, we can get better on that then to look at that as well.
Yeah, we can put it on the next court. You know, I know these guys are trying to plan this, so I want to go and get it on the court, maybe pending and the approval of a park use agreement and maybe have more specifics next.
Yes, sir.
court.
This is our first one, so we're not,
Okay, that's fine.
great at it.
This is our first one too. So.
And I wouldn't think that y'all would need to shut the whole park off to do that.
I wouldn't think so either.
You can give you a section.
Well, we just don't want people to have access to that part that goes down
that's where
To
they
the
want
boat
the
ramp?
boats and everything else, so I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
People can have access, but we're not gonna be down in there.
You're not gonna be down
We're not gonna be down in there.
You know, we do one in Beach City at McCollum Park every year for the benefit, the Beach City Fire Department. It's put on by the HOA, from McCollum Park or Bell Ranch. And they don't shut the whole park down, but they do pretty much dominate it. They do car, stuff. But that's 100% of the benefits of that goes to the fire department, and it's pretty successful.
Good. Well, we appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah,
Excellent.
certainly.
We'll get with them.
Yeah, we need a little more information so we can see how if you can come up with some kind of maybe just a sketch to
Okay.
kind of where y'all need to set up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do you want to go ahead and approve this pending the park use agreement being approved by the court? That way they can get rolling on it.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Tynes, second by Commissioner Gore. No pun intended, get rolling on diesel truck. Those in favor? Opposed? Y'all missed my wit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, we've heard it every court.
Glad you're back.
All right, maintenance of building, 7.1. Discuss, consider 2021 certificates of obligation projects. We're there. He's back in HR. Just like old times. You hear me, huh? All right, you want to kind of explain what you've done here, Aaron?
Sure. So, I mean, basically,
Take the mic.
yeah, so basically the only change is we asked to postpone the additional baseball fields for the West Side Complex and then move that up to those funds be used for the Winnie Baseball Field Complex. So there's no dollar amount change. It's just moving that package for the West Side Complex and adding Winnie to the list of projects. So there's no change in money, just change in projects.
Can I speak, Judge?
Sure.
All right. Started looking at this, and actually I had a conversation with the judge, and I am in support of doing something in Winnie and helping out the ballparks. After we had our public meetings and sat and we listened to our constituents, it was very clear. It sounded like they needed some parks and wanted some parks in Winnie. So I am for that. But also, we had people speaking, especially the one we had in Mont Bellevue. And it's brought to my attention, I already know this, but we've got 1,700 students that go to Goose Creek ISD that live in Chambers County. Most of them are right along the Highway 146 corridor. They do not even have a community building. They have zero, no ballparks, no playgrounds, no nothing. I did a little research yesterday on our website because I keep hearing that, the west side's got everything. And I found 12 parks on the east side of the river and 4 on the west side of the river. I started looking at ball fields and trying to do counts for that. With this current layout we've got right now, there will be 4 ball fields that the county will own in the west of the river, and there will be 9, not counting practice fields, but there will be 9 on the east side. We got, and you do the math on that, especially when you look at the breakup of students. And I used the breakdown that came from our school equalization tax. Barbers Hill this year, they reported 6,418 students. Goose Creek in Chambers County reported 1,667. East Chambers reported 1,517, and Anahuac reported 1,327. So when you add those up, you've got 73.977% of the students in Chambers County sitting on the west side of the river. And if you go a little bit further and do some math, that will be, with this layout, the way it's presented right here, that would be 1 ball field, county-owned ball field, for every 2,021 students on the west side of the river. That would be one ball field on the east side of the river for every 316. Now,
You're not counting the ball fields in Mount Bellevue?
no, I'm not. I'm not counting those. But if I go back, we're going to gain 5 ball fields by giving that land swap in Mont Bellevue. If I do that, that brings that number up to 9. Okay. And you do, that's 898 to 1.
What about what Baytown has?
Baytown has 0.
Baytown has.
Baytown, Chambers County.
Baytown, in Chambers County, Baytown has none.
Okay, but a lot of those kids play in the Baytown League, that's in Baytown, right?
Not these kids, especially the ones that's not in the city.
We purchased that land on Needle Point, right?
Right.
Okay, for future ball fields, right?
Exactly where I'm leading to.
We have committed taxpayer funds to additional ball fields over there.
We have not.
We will purchase the land.
Purchase the property.
Purchasing the property.
We purchased the land.
Yeah, we've dedicated, we have said that in the future, we will build additional ball fields there.
We have, you're talking about the 37 acres that we bought off of Needle Point Road?
Yes.
Oh, Needle Point, excuse me, Chambers Parkway.
Chambers Parkway.
All right, so here's what I'm going to propose we do, is we make it all work. I've already had a conversation with the mayor of Baytown, and he's willing to support a joint venture with the county. We have a meeting scheduled for next Monday. We already had it with the mayor, the city manager, the assistant city manager. And we're going to add to that agenda to talk about what we can do and how that can be worked together. I think we can come up with something, but we need something on 146. We need some ball fields over there. We need something for those kids. I didn't realize how far we were behind in this county on our infrastructure, especially when it comes to our ball fields and our kids and our parks. We've got some very nice parks, and I'm not complaining about having more parks on the east side because we've got a lot of nature over here. We've got a lot of, stuff that I heard one economist refer to it as your next door nature, but it's really good to have this. But we do need some projects. On the west side, we need more ball fields. I want to propose that we take this that we're looking at right now and we come up with a plan. And we're going to hire an architect to do the cook fields. I want to go ahead with that. I want to add to that, hiring an architect to come up with a design to do something on that 37 acres we got off the Chambers Parkway that wouldn't, also we don't have a community building there. The only building we got is the Cedar Bayou Courthouse. It used to be a community building, but it's been stopped now. It is a courthouse. It is not allowed. We cannot rent it out or use it for public meetings. That area was using McLeod Park. McLeod Park is going away. They were actually going north Interstate 10 and it's moving further over. So I would not be doing my job as commissioner if I don't fight for getting something in that area of the county is badly needed. And my proposal is we table this, we come up with a plan, we hire the architect to do both of them, and we build all of this, even if it means asking for more money.
I want you to understand that the Cook Field over there not only services Chambers County, but Jefferson County. And the judge and I have had lengthy conversations on this. That ball field, Hamsterson, all them, they have one little ball field on Kuiper Road. The only other fields they have is City of Beaumont and then Ford Park, which is privately owned now. So you're correct on your numbers, but I have to take in consideration all the people that come from Jefferson County as well, because there's 2 leagues that Cook Field is servicing. So I just want that understood as well. Just like with Chambers
Is there any chance to get a JV out of Jefferson County?
We're going to contact.
If we can get a JV out of Baytown and out of Jefferson County, we can make this work and get it all done.
I have discussed that as well.
All right. Well, my proposal is we table it and we work with those 2 entities and we come back where we get all these ball fields.
I don't mind us going ahead and approving to get started on this. This is what we'd be approving today is the engineering, architecture, and engineering services to get started.
But we're not approving the ones for the Chambers Park.
No, you'd have to bring that back next court.
Well, did we have to have court approval to hire the architect to design the West Side complex?
Yes, it went through court.
It did?
Yes.
Judge, I have a question. Is the community building still a part of this? We are desperate for voting locations for these massive amounts of people that are now on the west side of the county. And that judge's courtroom that Commissioner Combs spoke of is not adequate any longer for trying to hold precincts 11 and 15 for voting. And I'm also worried about, which I presented last court on precinct 10 and precinct 8 also needing locations. So just please consider that as well.
Yeah, I think a community building, I mean, that was our plan to start with.
I think when we do the plan, we need to put community building in.
Yeah, nothing like the big ones, but we need to put some kind of community building there.
No, it don't have to be anything like the other one building, just something like Beach
Something.
City or Cove or any of those. But we have nothing. I mean, when I say nothing, I literally mean nothing.
I agree.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
I would just like to remind y'all that at the, where we currently are, you won't close on the COs if everything goes as planned until July. So just know that anything that you commit to or people you're hiring today is going to further commit fund balance. So if there's any delays in getting the bonds closed, I mean, you're already still only in July. My point is we're moving into hurricane season. The commitment you've made right now has fund balance, in my estimation, down to 17.5% of your expenditures, which is already below the fund balance policy that you just adopted to not let that, your goal was 25%. And you considered anything around below 15% to be an emergency. So I just wanted to remind you of that. You may want to wait before you commit any more funds until you get the bonds, or you may do what you want to do. Just know that you're putting your fund balance in further jeopardy.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're on 7.1, certificates obligation, and that update's done. 7.2, discuss, consider approving PBK Architects to provide architectural and engineering services for New County Baseball Softball Complex, Winnie, Texas, to replace existing fields at Cook Park.
Which the design of these fields, I mean, what my understanding is, all of them gonna be built the same. So, I mean, you should be able to just flip the same design over there to Needle Point or Chambers Parkway.
Yeah, there'll be
It's the same.
differences because of the different terrain and the tension and things, but yeah, it's basically the same print.
But I mean, you're wanting to design the community building there as well.
It needs to be laid out. I mean, we may not have the funds to build it right now, but it needs to be laid out. We need to get in there and start working in that.
And we may, once we start doing all these projects, we'll get our CO passed.
But we need the plans. And I can't commit Baytown for it, but it was a very positive conversation.
Do we have any idea what the cost for the engineering services? I don't remember the cost on the west side, or did we pay anything up front?
I think the west side was about $5 million or so. I think that's what we came up to. I don't know what it would be
Once-
for Cook.
But that's once the project gets done, then they get their percent out of it, just to do the drawing.
I'm not sure what the drawings cost.
Why don't you give Jeff a call so you can find out? We'll table this, come back to it.
Judge, can I comment one more time, please?
Yes, sir.
I would just remind purchasing that, that it ties up a lot of you guys' time. The process would be purchasing would have already got the estimate for these costs and had the requisition, so that when you vote to approve it, we know how much we're encumbering fund balance and everything else. I would just remind purchasing to work with you guys to make sure, that's on the agenda with the item.
Yeah, Chris is back there. So. All right, let's table that one. We'll table 732, come back to it. It's all related.
There's one quick thing I want
Go
to
ahead.
clear up. All these drawings are concept drawings, so, and I've been talking to the parks guy and also the maintenance guy about, once we get close to finalizing all that, is that we get specific about what's needed in these complexes as far as batting cages. You know, do they need 2 dirt infields or, you know, what they, and we have to reach out to the youth organizations to get that information.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I think right now we're
Just-
playing
yeah.
one large field, 2 Little League fields, and then 1
and a
girls
softball
softball.
field, and depending on what their player load is, you know, that can be easily adjusted. So
Sure.
I agree, just like all the warm-up pins, you know, you don't need all those.
We've taken those out.
Yeah, that's just,
Did we take the artificial turf out?
Yes, we did.
yes.
Going back, grass.
So we wanna build what's needed for the organization so that they can best utilize those facilities.
Yeah, so Jimmy, you'll need to give the organization over there,
Yeah, there's
and
3.
Mike Leslie and
Yes.
PBK and the same thing, Mark here.
And I believe in Cook Park, Corey's gonna have to, I think we'll have to move the road bridge yard out of there.
Yes.
Yeah, we discussed moving it over by the box site.
Yes.
Plenty of land over there to move it to.
What?
Don't look at me like that, Corey.
What, there is. There's plenty of land. The sale of the 9.5 million, where's it coming back into play at?
That will all be figured in.
Well, we still, you know, we scratched off the EW4.
Yeah.
So we would have to come back to that, and you got the Anahuac Library and Visitor Center too.
Right.
Still.
Yeah, we got a lot.
No, there's a lot. I mean, there's no doubt, with the population growth and what we've got, we are behind on infrastructure.
Okay, let's come back to this. All right, environmental protection, 9.1, discuss, consider whether to add interest or any additional charges related to the cost of the nuisance abatement located at 421 West Cypress Avenue, Winnie, Texas. Ashley,
So I talked
you got the
to-
microphone there?
Sorry, Miss Kate, you're just like, you're gonna realize you have to speak into the mic.
Oh, yes,
I know you're new.
I'm new. I talked to Darla Branch and Victoria in environmental, and they told me that y'all have never charged any interest or added any fees on these nuisance abatements, but that we do usually run it through the court. So their suggestion is not to add any. And I think whoever is trying to pay it off wants to pay it off in full.
That's from us going in there and cleaning the property up, Judge.
Yes.
Does that money go, because that Parks did that, does that money go back into their budget? Is that?
This goes in
the
the general fund.
Okay.
Yeah, which is where Parks budget out.
And I don't have any problem with not.
So you want to make the motion?
Yes, sir.
Motion by Commissioner Gore.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hammond. Questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
To not charge any,
Additional
fees.
charges related to the cost of this.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Deja vu moment. This came up not too long ago because someone had sold the property and the buyer was the one wanting to get it waived. Right?
Yes, sir.
And we waived it then?
Yes, sir. So they told me that they have never added ever any interest or additional fees, and they don't even know how to calculate that. So I'm not sure if that's something that we do need to continue going through.
Well, if someone's making an effort to clean it up and it won't, or
Absolutely
to
right.
pay it off,
Right.
you know, we need to work with them.
Okay, I'm just wanting to be consistent.
Yes, sir. I agree. Yes, sir. And it did come up, I think, maybe in February, and it was the same situation then. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Counselor.
So,
Go ahead.
how does Parks recoup their money that they spent? Because I'm assuming that come out of their budget.
Well, that was a charge for just equipment personnel.
Right.
I mean, and that's the reason I want to know if it went back into their budget or it went back into.
Yeah.
It goes back in the general fund, which is where Parks is budgeted out of. So.
Okay.
All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, discuss and consider for adoption an amended order. Section 2, paragraph 4, proposed amended order regarding mobile food units.
I discussed it with
Go ahead.
Paula yesterday, Judge, and I mean, I'm fine with it. So I'm making a motion to approve it.
So we're just limiting
Wait,
the
I need
number
a
of.
second.
I'm sorry, second.
Motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Hammond, now go ahead.
We're we're just limiting the number of mobile food trucks.
I don't think we're limited on, it's just,
Yeah, I think it was a limit on it.
What, section 2, paragraph 4?
Yeah.
or,
What page?
Probably
I don't
41.
think, this is an amendment to adopt.
Said section 2, paragraph 4, states Chambers County shall be limited to 25 permitted mobile food units due to the absence of a county service in area for regular vehicle cleaning, discharging liquid or solid waste, refilling water tanks and ice bins, and boarding food.
You want to get her on the phone? Actually, Darla, thank you.
Hey, Darla, it's Austin, you're in Commissioners Court. The commissioners had some questions for you. You're on speaker. Go ahead, Judge.
Darla, section 2, permits and exemptions. The question was the limit to 25 permitted mobile food units.
Yes, sir. Currently, we don't have a central preparation facility in the county, which is required by rule. Right now, the ones that we have are obtaining authorization from RV parks to charge their waste, and then they're getting their ice and water from bagged ice and water from stores. So that's what they're doing right now, but we don't have a centralized mobile food unit preparation facility. So that's why we wanted to limit it until we can either, if somebody wants to become a commissary or.
So you're saying if you have over 25, you have to have that?
No, it's really, we're really trying to do an exception right here. We shouldn't have any. We're supposed to have a mobile food unit central facility, but we don't. So right now, we're requiring them to get authorizations from RV parks or from some facility where they can dispose of their waste.
So an RV park could become that central facility?
It's just for disposal of waste. Now, we do have some restaurants that have mobile food units, and they use their facility, their restaurants as their servicing facility.
How many do we have permitted currently?
Currently, we have 19 permitted, 3 pending permits. So we're looking at 22. And then I've got a couple more that are going to talk to me about.
this doesn't include any of the festivals or anything like that. I think that's what you said yesterday. This is just ones that operate daily within the county.
Darla, did you hear that? He said that doesn't include festivals.
No, that does not. That doesn't include temporary.
Temporary permits?
Temporary permit or for Larry's trade day.
Okay. I didn't think so.
But it does include the ones that's going around for job sites.
Ones that are going job sites, or you're seeing them park in front of a convenience store, the ones that travel around the county.
We have one at the Family Dollar here almost every day.
That's a push cart, the hot dog stand.
Yes, ma'am.
They have a permit.
Okay. So cities, this doesn't include those that are permitted.
It does not include the cities. They have their own permitting. The city of Anahuac does their own food permitting, and the city of Palm Beach does their own food permitting.
Okay, so it doesn't lump those in there.
So when you reach your 25 and then somebody else comes along, what do you tell them?
Once we reach 25, they can be put on a wait list, because we have mobile food units fall off permitting all the time.
Okay. What other questions do you have, Darla?
Good.
All right, entertain a motion.
You already got a motion.
Oh. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Darla. All right, law enforcement, 17.1, discuss, consider resolution, pay tribute to fallen officers and law enforcement officers in Chambers County, state of Texas, and the United States. Commissioner Hammond, you want to read that?
Pardon?
You want to read that since this is your first?
Nobody fall asleep. Chambers County, Texas resolution, whereas the well-being of the people of the United States, the state of Texas, and Chambers County is preserved and enhanced as a direct result of vigilance and dedication to our law enforcement officers. And whereas we rely on law enforcement officers to keep Chambers County safe, enforce our laws, and respond to times of crisis. And whereas it is law enforcement officers who stand ready to serve and protect, even with their lives when necessary. And whereas 4 Chambers County peace officers have made the ultimate sacrifice. Sheriff John Lightner Frost, end of watch Saturday, November 10th, 1900. Deputy Constable Levi Oliver, end of watch Wednesday, March 5th, 1930. Deputy Sheriff Dirk Kennerum, end of watch Sunday, October 17th, 2004. Deputy Sheriff Shane Thomas Detweiler, end of watch Monday, July 13th, 2009. And whereas we come together now to honor these fallen Chambers County officers and those officers across the state of Texas and our nation whose lives have been taken in the line of duty. Now therefore it be resolved by the Commissioners Court of Chambers County, Texas, that all Chambers County residents honor the memory of Sheriff Frost, Deputy Oliver, Deputy Canarum, and Deputy Detweiler, and express our gratitude to their families for their dedication and service. And be it further resolved that we, the Chambers County Court of Chambers County, Texas, pay tribute to these fallen officers and all law enforcement officers in Chambers County, the state of Texas, and the United States, serving to protect us from evil and preserving all our freedoms.
And motion by Commissioner Hammond. Second by Commissioner Gore, and all those are in favor. You want to present that to the chief?
Judge, can we have a moment of silence in honor of these fallen?
Sure, let's do that. Thank you.
Amen.
Good. There'll be a ceremony next door, right, Lauren? And up.
Well, good.
Okay.
Easy. There we go. Okay. Another one. Thank you. All right.
One more time. Don't forget Sue.
They're looking pretty good up there, aren't they? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief. Appreciate all you do. You may want to give that back. You may want to give that back. I don't know if Lauren needs it. Oh, you can give it. Oh, sorry.
Merry Christmas.
All right, let's go to consent. Precinct 1.
I'm good, Judge. I've left all my notes in the office.
Precinct 2. 3.
I'm good, Judge.
4.
Judge, if we could, we ought to go to executive session on personnel anyhow. Can we take 5 and 6 back off so we can discuss that?
Sure, 5 and 6, executive session. Personnel. Anything else, Billy? All right, I'll entertain a motion on the rest of the consent agenda except 5 and 6.
So moved, Judge.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Combs. Questions? Those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, it's 10:47 a.m. We will go to executive session 20.1. Discuss consider personnel issues. Austin, let me know when you're ready. All right, court come to order after executive session is 1:26 PM. Let's take under consent, number 5 and 6, job descriptions and payroll changes. I entertain a motion to approve those two.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Combs, second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions? Hear none, those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. So actually, this is Chris's first in-person court too. So welcome to in-person court. You didn't fall asleep, did you? I'm sorry. 5 and 6 were approved, Combs and Gore. 5 and 6 under consent. Got it? And Gore. Yes, ma'am. All right, so we have one, on 20.1, discuss consider personnel issues, so I'll entertain a motion from the court.
Who's got that motion?
I think Tommy does.
Tommy, you got it?
No, I have the first.
You got first.
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion on the court green.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. It is my motion to terminate the HR director.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tice, second by Commissioner Gore. No discussion, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Do we have another motion?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I make a motion to convert Mo Green's leave status to unpaid leave based on court's entry of temporary injunction preventing him from working.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hammond, second by Commissioner Gore. Any questions, discussion, hear none, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Back to number 7-1, Judge.
Yes, thank you. I was about to give it. Let's see.
Judge, I have go ahead and comment on
Yeah. All right, we're going back to 7.1, well, 7.2 actually. Discuss and consider approving PBK Architects, approve architectural engineering services. The cost for the engineering services, it will be less than 200,000, and it'll be paid along as they get the work done. They've reduced it from 6% down to 4% because they're basically taking one and moving to the other location, same design. So
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve it. I mean,
motion by, you want to approve
I want to approve.
PBK Architects up to 200,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got a motion by Commissioner Gore, second by Commissioner Tice. Questions, discussion? Go ahead. Either one. Go ahead, Rick.
Go ahead.
All right, that $200,000, would that be the same thing for the one off of Chamber
Yes.
Parkway?
Be the same thing for Anahuac, be the same thing for Chambers Parkway.
So they're lowering their price on all of them across the board?
Correct. And he said he probably closer to 150, but didn't want
So
to.
that's 4% you're saying?
Correct.
All right. I'd still, personally, I'd like to do both of those at the same time.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda, so I don't think we can do it today, Billy. We can prove next court. And I don't think there'd be any objection to it. Go ahead.
And just to clarify, it's also gonna be another roughly 200 for the community building as well.
Okay.
I think it was 200 for both.
Yeah, just that, so,
For a total of 4 or a total of 2?
200 for baseballs, 200 for community building, and then another 200 for winning baseball fields.
could be up to 200 for
He's
each.
going to do 4%. So if we
Correct.
design a cheaper building, it's going to be less.
Yeah, he probably figured it on the other one, so.
I'd like to see it move ahead and go ahead and get these fields bid and done, Judge. Nothing's gonna get any cheaper. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got a motion, second. Any other questions, comments? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-3. Discuss, consider approving chamber surveying, provide surveying services for land at the existing Cook Park to construct new county baseball softball complex. Motion by Commissioner Gore.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Tice. And this is actually, I think I got Hammond. But it's got to be done so you can move forward with it.
Yeah.
All right, I got a motion, second. Any questions, comments, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I think we've done everything we needed to do. So much for the short court hours that we're gonna have today. For that, 1:31 PM, we are adjourned.
Thank
Thank you all.